Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a like up. The bold and the beautiful spoilers say that Thomas Forrester is back, but it looks like fans want him to return and move back to Paris already. That's because it seems like he is emotionally blackmailing his father Ridge Forrester to make sure that he marries his mother Taylor Hayes at all costs. And he's also going to make sure Brooke Logan stays out of the picture. Clearly, Thoma is already up to his shenanigans. But a lot of viewers have questions. Who took the picture of Ridge kissing Brooke after he saved her from drowning? What does Thomas plan on doing with this tidbit of information? Of course, B&B fans certainly did have a lot to say about the matter on social media. Some fans even commented with, "The fact that he feels he has to emotionally blackmail his father into marrying his mother really says it all." You'd think he'd have learned after his previous manipulations ended in his mother being left at the altar multiple times. Another critic wrote, "His track record of marriage manipulation makes him a pro. Probably grabbed the Hope mannequin on his way out since Liam wants Hope again. My eyes need stitches to keep them from rolling out of my head." And then there was this comment as well. "Too funny, make him go away. I stole my kid, got engaged, had no job, still have no job now, no bride, and left his kid in a foreign country. Yikes, how old is he? I need mommy and daddy to make me feel whole again." For now, fans will simply have to tune in each and every day to find out what will happen next. The Bold and the Beautiful airs weekdays on the CBS network. Check your local listings for times. In the world of The Bold and the Beautiful, nothing is ever simple, especially when it comes to family loyalty, power struggles, and old wounds that never quite heal. Ridge Forrester, a man often torn between his heart and his duty, once again finds himself caught in a web spun, not by his rivals, but by his own flesh and blood, Thomas Forrester. Recent developments on the CBS soap suggest that Thomas is walking down a dangerous path, one that sees him emotionally blackmailing Ridge to get everything he desires, regardless of who stands in his way. For Ridge, family has always come first, even when that family tests the very limits of his patience and morality. Thomas, Ridge's son, has been through years of manipulative schemes, romantic obsessions, and reckless behavior. Though he's shown glimpses of redemption, his darker tendencies are never too far beneath the surface. Now, as Ridge attempts to balance his commitments to Brooke, Steffi, and the rest of the Forrester empire, Thomas inserts himself back into the picture with demands that threaten to pull Ridge in opposite directions. On the surface, Thomas frames his needs as those of a loving son desperate for validation. But underneath, the whispers of manipulation grow louder with each interaction. Thomas knows Ridge's weak spot: guilt. He has long been aware that Ridge struggles with the choices he's made as a father. Ridge wasn't always present during Thomas's formative years, and the shadow of favoritism, particularly Ridge's devotion to Steffi, has haunted their relationship. Playing into this, Thomas begins making loaded statements. "Dad, you were never there when I needed you most. If you really love me, you'll fight for me the way you've always fought for everyone else. I've changed, but no one believes me. You're the only one who can make them see." Each word cuts at Ridge's conscience, leaving him torn between skepticism and his instinct to protect his son. This isn't just a plea for attention. It's emotional blackmail at its finest. One of the key reasons Thomas is tightening his grip on Ridge is his fixation on Hope Logan. Despite their tumultuous history, Thomas continues to believe that Hope is the answer to all of his struggles. Even though she's repeatedly drawn boundaries, Thomas sees her affection and moments of compassion as proof that she could still belong to him. But the Forresters know Thomas's obsession with Hope is dangerous. Brooke, in particular, sees the red flags and warns Ridge not to enable his son. Yet, Thomas counters by telling Ridge that denying him Hope, or at least the chance to prove his love, is just another example of Ridge choosing Brooke over his children. This is where the blackmail tightens. If Ridge doesn't support Thomas's pursuit of Hope, then Ridge risks being painted as the father who abandoned his son yet again. Ridge torn in half. The real tension lies in Ridge's dual loyalties. On one side is Brooke, who is adamant that Thomas should not be anywhere near Hope. She reminds Ridge of all the chaos Thomas caused with the Beth secret, his manipulative schemes, and the emotional scars he left behind. On the other side is Thomas, whose emotional appeals echo in Ridge's ears at all hours. Ridge is forced to ask himself difficult questions. Has Thomas truly changed? Does he deserve another chance? And is Ridge obligated to support his son's version of happiness, no matter the risks? For Ridge, it's a no-win situation. If he sides with Brooke, he alienates Thomas further, potentially driving him into even darker territory. But if he backs Thomas, he risks destroying Brooke's trust and igniting new chaos for Hope. Douglas caught in the crossfire. Another complication is Douglas, the son Thomas shares with Caroline Spencer and who has already been through too much. Ridge has always wanted stability for his grandson, but Thomas is subtly using Douglas as leverage in his campaign. Thomas insists that Douglas deserves a united family, one where Hope, Ridge, and Thomas all support him. Ridge recognizes the manipulation, but also can't ignore the truth that Douglas needs stability. With his grandson's well-being dangled in front of him, Ridge feels trapped. This isn't just a fight for Thomas's personal happiness. It's a battle wrapped in family legacy and the future of the next generation. A dangerous precedent. The boldest aspect of Thomas's blackmail is how he reframes Ridge's past mistakes. Every failure Ridge has had as a father becomes ammunition. Did Ridge side with Brooke when Thomas was spiraling? That's abandonment. Did Ridge trust Steffi's judgment over Thomas's? That's favoritism. Thomas has learned how to twist the knife, ensuring Ridge constantly second-guesses himself. This forces Ridge into a corner, where the only way to ease his guilt is to give Thomas what he wants. But here's the danger. Once Ridge gives in, Thomas will only demand more. Emotional blackmail rarely ends at one compromise. It grows until the victim is completely controlled. The ripple effect. Ridge's torment doesn't just affect his relationship with Brooke and Thomas. It reverberates through the Forrester family. Steffi, protective of her father, sees through Thomas's tactics and confronts him. But her interference only escalates the problem, as Thomas accuses Ridge of always taking Steffi's side. Eric, too, senses the growing unrest and fears history is repeating itself. He's watched generations of Forresters tear themselves apart, and now Ridge is caught in the same destructive cycle. Even Hope, the supposed prize Thomas seeks, feels the pressure. She doesn't want to be used as leverage in a father-son battle, yet her compassion for Thomas makes her hesitate to cut ties completely. Spoilers ahead. What comes next? Upcoming spoilers hint that Ridge's breaking point is near. The constant guilt trips and emotional manipulation may push him to make a decision he'll regret. Will Ridge finally cave to Thomas's demands, allowing his son more influence in the family and in Hope's life? Or will he see the manipulation for what it is and draw a firm line, even at the risk of losing his son forever? There's also the possibility of a shocking twist. Thomas may escalate his tactics, threatening to leave the Forrester family or even take Douglas away if Ridge doesn't comply. Such a move would devastate Ridge, forcing him into a moral and emotional crisis unlike any he's faced before. Final thoughts. Thomas Forrester is playing a dangerous game, one that risks alienating not just Ridge, but the entire Forrester clan. Emotional blackmail may give him short-term victories, but in the long run, it threatens to destroy the very relationships he claims to want. For Ridge, the stakes couldn't be higher. Caught between his son's pleas, his own guilt, and the stability of his family, Ridge is walking a tightrope with no safety net. One wrong move could send the entire Forrester empire into chaos. And in true bold and the beautiful fashion, fans can bet that when this powder keg finally explodes, no one will walk away unscathed. Thanks for watching this video. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel and stay with us.